I don't recommend it. I don't recommend men date sex workers. I think it's a suboptimal dating choice. And sometimes you're not always going to get the most optimum partner in your life, but it is significantly suboptimal for various reasons. And I think the other thing is just slipped my mind. But anyways, yeah.
Can I ask you please, what are your reasons for why it's suboptimal? Like, why would you?
Sure.
Yeah, like she gave some reasons. No.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah, I'll give you a couple. So first off, for example, women who do OnlyFans, and I actually try not to bring this topic up just to be, I suppose, courteous to the women if we do have OnlyFans girls on the show, just not to throw your hustle totally under the fucking bus. But y'all become very well practiced in deception and manipulation and lying.
Yep.
Here's why. Because most of you sell the girlfriend experience, and you basically commit, in my estimation, you commit fraud by saying, I'm talking to you. I'm not saying all OnlyFans girls do this, but most of them do. The bigger they are, the more likely they are to have, for example, a typer or to have a chatter. But you're advertising yourself as saying, I'm talking to you. So you become very well versed in fraud and lying. And you have no issue with it whatsoever. So you become accustomed and adjusted to making small lies, and small lies become big lies. So that's one of my issues that I have with it.
So
most of these sex workers are incredibly attuned to manipulation and lying.
Can I defend just my personal experience?
Actually, don't we have a tweet related? Some girl had a tweet about this. Fuck, hold on. Let me see if I don't know. Oh man, I don't know if we only have one tweet, right, Nick? Yeah. Oh man, I could have sworn that. I'm gonna double check, but do you guys acknowledge that girls who do OnlyFans have typers?
Yes, many of them do.
Many of them, yeah.
Many of them do. That's the ones that are like online 24/7.
What do they even put in their bio? You can talk to me, right?
Yeah, I don't like that. That's a practice. I'm very against.
It's fraud. It's literally fraud.
I'm very against having management companies and all that stuff.
Sure. So that's one of my justifications for it. In addition to that, OnlyFans girls will typically hide the fact that they're in a relationship. So you just become very well versed and practiced in your deception and manipulation, because if you were honest about the fact that you're dating a guy or you're married or you have a relationship, it would hurt your bottom line. Secondly, when it comes to the typing and chatting thing, if you were telling the guys, by the way, it's some dude in Bangladesh who's getting paid $5 a day to be sexting with you, and you're sexting with the dude, it would hurt your bottom line. So you're doing this sort of fraudulent misrepresentation. On that level, I object to it. In addition, in terms of the actual content that you're making, and I actually think the fraudulent misrepresentation is worse than the fact that there's nude photos of you floating around the internet.
Same, we agree on that.
So, for example,
what about people in sales?
Huh?
What about people in sales? What do you think about them?
If they're making fraudulent claims and they're enticing people, it's called fraudulent inducement into fraudulent misrepresent. I can't remember the specific legal term, but it could open someone up to civil liability if they lie about their product.
True, but people in sales, I feel like, do it all the time.
Well, so there's a sales principle called puffery.
Like leaving things out of the.
Well,
of
I mean,
equation.
It depends.
Is
what
that technically considered lying or fraud if something is intentionally left out?
Can I interject?
When making a sale?
Can I interject? Because here's the thing. I used to work for Jenny Craig for 3.5 years as a program director. I'm not selling lies. I'm selling hope and like the fascination that they're going to be able to lose weight, right? You are instilling hope and faith in these men that they have a shot with you. So I think that's part of what Brian is saying too, is sort of like you guys are you painting this fantasy like, oh baby, I only want you, I'm only thinking of you. You're gaslighting them.
But I think everybody's
almost all men do to women so that they can get into their pants.
That's 90% of OnlyFans.
Okay, so if I can acknowledge that that's wrong, can you acknowledge that women doing it is also wrong?
I absolutely agree with you.
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that.
Okay.
But I just think that the standard should be the same for men when it comes to their interactions with women, because they will also act like, oh, I want to be with you, when they really just want to sleep with somebody.
But they're not getting paid for it.
Don't the men already have this understanding?
We know
that
somebody that
they're
gets
not-
paid for it. We know some men that get paid for it. Yeah.
Do these
Oh, yeah,
do
some
these
men get
men
paid for
actually
it.
buy into the thought that these women are interested in them?
Absolutely. I mean, how much money are they
it's a
spending?
fetish. I think
Look
it's
at
genuinely a fetish for men that they
It's like
want
degradation.
I mean, and I think at the same time, it's also in a way healthy for men that need some sort of somebody to talk to. And like for me, that's what I make my platform about. Like you have like a place to come and be yourself and express when you're lonely,
while
or
you're
when
naked and
sad.
fingering yourself.
And
Only if
no,
they
them.
pay.
I'm talking
though.
about them, not me. But like, I think sex work is super important, because I think if we didn't have it, that there would be a lot of men that have needs that aren't getting met, and that makes things dangerous.
So your argument is, if there wasn't sex work,
Porn.
that men would just be on a rampage, just like essaying chicks?
be
Is
that
the
15%.
argument?
I think it would be
I
scary.
mean, that's what porn is for. The only difference between OnlyFans and porn is that they get a reaction from you as opposed from porn. That's the only difference. You are technically porn. That's
It's
what
like an
OnlyFans is.
interactive
Exactly.
experience.
Can I ask
So-
you something, Brian? Do you support capitalism?
Oh, you're libertarian. Okay, I know where you're going. Yeah, I'm in favor of capitalism.
Okay, so there's a market for OnlyFans. So do you equally hold the men who create the market accountable?
Yeah, I mean, I don't hold these men who like pay for these girls' OnlyFans in high regard. And
Right,
I
but let's say
advocate-
your guy friend comes to you and he's like, I want to get this girl's OnlyFans. Are you just saying, well, you shouldn't because she's X, Y, and Z? Or are you also like, hey, like you should probably contribute to society in a better way than creating this market which objectifies women and can lead to all the negative things that you talk about?
Well, there's supply and demand, right? So,
Right. So if you're a capitalist.
yeah, I don't have anything wrong with capitalism. I don't actually, frankly, I don't give a fuck about sex work. But I look at it from a dating lens. So my prescriptive advice to men is, don't date a woman who has photos of herself fucking other men on camera.
And I think that's
Simple.
fine. I'm just wondering if you also tell men like, hey, you probably shouldn't be
And
subscribing
I don't
to
have
this
a double
stuff.
standard on this.
Okay.
Ladies, if you don't
But
want
not
to
everyone
date,
that does OnlyFans fucks men on camera.
that's fine. But it's not like I have a double standard on this. Women, if you don't want to date a man who's a porn star, that's totally fine. I don't have like, so this is kind of not like a gendered thing necessarily, but
So
well,
do you
I just
think
I think like when it comes to dominance in a man, I find it way more attractive and way more dominant when a man holds other men accountable. Like that's when I view a man as a real leader. It's easy for men to sit around and be like, you shouldn't want a woman who does da da da. But it's harder for a man to be like, hey, homie, you probably shouldn't be subscribing to this shit.
I make this prescriptive claim all the time. I say, men, you shouldn't even be following women on Instagram. You shouldn't. I don't follow
That's fair.
any girls on Instagram. You shouldn't be liking their shit, simping for them, leaving fucking lame ass comments. That's me holding men accountable. Men should not do that. They shouldn't be paying for OF. They shouldn't be subscribing to it. But
That's
like,
good.
I don't really give a like. Would society probably be better if there wasn't like porn and sex work? Probably.
100%
At the end of the
it would
day,
be.
though, I'm not like, I typically, that's why when I do have OF girls or sex workers on, I'm typically not making actual like criticisms of that specifically. It's always from a dating lens, where I'm basically saying, guys, it's suboptimal to date a woman who has an OnlyFans.
And you're saying it's because of
not
the
porn.
characteristics that
But if
come
they're a
with
porn
that.
star,
No,
then it's-
porn's worse.
Yeah.
So okay.
Yeah.
I mean, well, OF is they're. I mean, if she just does traditional porn, and then she does OF, there's like different considerations there. I mean, look, most of these OF girls are just like constant liars.
Pick-me
They lie
girls.
about everything. We've had them on the show. They lie about their age. They lie about everything. They make up stories for content. Blah blah blah. That's why I'm. In any case, so look, I think it is suboptimal. So, yeah, I don't know.